I'm Tate Hieronymus. I'm your host, and I am here today with Shavo Odajian.
Back in high school, people would who didn't know I was Armenian would think I'm like Irish or Scottish because of the Odajian, like there was an apostrophe, O apostrophe Dajian. And
Oh,
also my hair was like my facial hair was reddish, and people couldn't say really Shavarsh, which is my full name. And I wasn't referred to as Shavo yet in public. It was mostly like family and friends would only call me Shavo. So they kind of made up they'd say Sean, Sean. They took the SH, And so I was Sean Odajian, which is straight up Irish name.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
So
so
with the red beard, yeah.
it is straight up Irish.
Right.
Well, speaking of, let's just talk about Irish for a second.
Why not?
As far as Irish, do you like any Irish kind of beers?
I'm not a beer guy. I'm more of like a Scotch. So yeah, Scotch, tequila, and sometimes vodka guy. I like some white wines too, but yeah,
white wines are pretty good. I'm a beer guy, so I'm Guinness.
Boom.
That one.
So Guinness is Irish. So yeah, if I drank beer, it'd probably be something like a Guinness or maybe a Stella.
Ooh.
No, you don't like Stella?
No. I love Stella.
Oh, you love? Yeah, it's a comfortable beer to drink, But I do like the Guinness. When I was on tour, I'd have a 4-pack of Guinness, just on the bus all the time. Just and if I felt like it, it's just that milky, cool. I'd love filling the whole glass with it. And, it's a cool vibe. But I'm not like an everyday go grab a beer guy.
Oh no, I'm kind of like an everyday kind of go grab a beer guy. It's just I don't know. It's just the way it flows for me. I'm just kind of into it, but
Gotcha. It is an acquired thing though. It's totally acquired, and I could see how people could be that everyday beer guy. I can probably see myself doing it, but I won't go there because
yeah.
I'll take it to another level.
No, I totally understand.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely do. But yeah, it's a good beer. It really is an acquired taste for sure. That's no doubt about it.
For sure.
I was watching an interview with you a couple days ago, and you mentioned that you were a fan of the band Clutch. And I wanted to talk about that because the first time I saw Clutch, I saw them open for Tool, and like Melvins played. And
what year was that? What year was that?
Oh God, I want to say 2017.
So recently, all right.
San Bernardino, yeah.
I got into Clutch in like 95 or something, 95, 96. And I was just blown away by that shit, bro, with the Shogun named Marcus and the Binge and Purge. Like that's what it got me first. And then I kind of became a fan. So as they developed, I developed with them, Yeah. And it's funny because when we started System, I was listening to a lot of Clutch and a lot of Caius at the time. I don't know if you know Caius. Do you know who Caius is?
The name sounds familiar, yeah.
So Queens of the Stone Age?
Oh yeah, I love Queens of the Stone Age.
So Josh, right? Yeah. Josh Holmes. He was the guitarist of Caius.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Caius was like they're like the desert rock kings, They're like they hold the crown, and everyone came after, or maybe during, but they're the ones that kind of hit it to the point where everyone who was into that style of music was into Caius, And singer was John Garcia, bassist was Scott Reeder, who I became dear friends with, and I still am. Love that guy, but I was a fan, at first, and then it's funny because. There's a history with both bands. I was such a fan. Had never met them, know anything about them except that they're badass, and I listened to them and had all their albums. And kind of every time we start rehearsal, we would start with a jam. We wouldn't play songs. We'd play jam, like bass line, drum beat, guitar, vocal would do some stuff. That's how we would start our practices with System. And so I'd always start with either a Clutch riff bass line or a Caius bass line. So it was kind of the ongoing joke within the band that, I bet you Shav's going to play something new, like something like Clutch, like being sarcastic about it. He's probably going to do something different today. I'm sure it's going to be Caius, So Yeah, bro, you should listen to Caius. They're amazing. And it's funny because when we got signed and our first tour was Clutch and Slayer, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, both bands big hold a big place in my heart, spot in my heart, and influenced by them both. So it was ridiculously cool to be now watching them every night after I play. So like we play our 30 minutes and then I'd have a blast. I'd be in the pit for Clutch and for Slayer. Yeah, bro. People are like, "Were you just on stage, bro?" Yeah, I was, but I'm a fan. So walk away.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, dude. I still do that shit if I can. If people won't recognize me, but
do you try to wear a disguise when you go into the audience?
What I used to do is I used to put my beard in my either I'd take the rubber bands out and I'd put them across, like I'd split it in half and put it across my my ears on both sides because they were long, and it would and I wear a hat so it looked like I had like an Abe Lincoln beard, and people wouldn't get me, but that was my disguise. But now they see that. I actually walked on stage like that once. Everyone thought I shaved my beard. It was funny.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so Clutch and Caius, those guys are fucking legendary, and I'm happy that Clutch is still around. Caius, they all went into different bands. The Queens, of course, became huge, and Scott Reeder did Unita, and then now I think he's in fuck, bro, I can't think of the band's name. They're dope too. I'll think of it, man. I don't want to hold it up, hold up the interview, but he's in another group right now that's really cool. Yeah. Anyways,
hell yeah. Did they influence kind of the way you wrote music, or was it just kind of you just kind of developed your own style?
It was my groove, bro. It kind of, because I wasn't a bass player my whole life. I was a guitar player, and then when I was like 18, I think, is when I picked up the bass, and then at like 20, I was already system,
Oh,
so
wow.
So it was like the reason why I played the bass is I couldn't find a bass player that fit my mold as a guitar player. And who played kind of how I see a bass being played, which is like meat and potatoes, groove, the drum and the bass got to be tight. And I was either meeting guys that were, or girls, because it was one of them was a girl, was either just starting out, so there was really no connection because they're just starting out, so they can't play, they can't keep up, or they were so advanced that they thought they were the lead guitar player and they would always play above the guitarist. And I was like, bro, like the same. It's not what, like, trying to be Les Claypool. Like, there is a Les Claypool. Leave Les Claypool be,
Yeah.
You do you, And so there was a lot of that going on. So I just said, I traded in my Randall half stack and I got a Sound Gear bass. And then I picked up an Ampeg bass head in a cab and I went off. And that was it. That was the beginning of my bass career. And no lessons or nothing, just kind of grooved on my own.
I was gonna ask, did playing guitar help transitioning over to bass? Did that help? Like when you were playing?
Part of it helped. I mean, I was a musician already, so and it's a string instrument, and it was less strings, And I do love groove. It was always in me. I've always loved. Like I DJ, like prior to playing in system, I was DJing at like raves and shit and clubs, doing EDM dance shit. Yeah, but like what's big now was that's what I was doing. I have like 17,000 records still in storage, of course, but I collected a lot of LPs and EPs and 12 inches throughout the years of just even like touring across the world. I'd find swap meets and garage or like old record stores, dusty stores that you would have to go crate hopping and searching for, that record, where you would have to pull out 20 records and go listen to them because you didn't know what they were. They just had writings on them in German. I love doing that, bro. So that groove was always in me. So as that's why I like groovy bands like Clutch and Caius. They're groove, bro. Like just got that bounce, got that groove. And that's what made me want to play bass too, because I thought I could do it right. I thought I could do it the way I wanted. Right, meaning the way I thought it should sound, not right within the world. Because everyone, to each his own, bro. Everyone plays differently and wants to hear different things. So opinions are all over the place. So my vibe of it was what I'm doing on the bass until today. So yeah, bro. I always had the groove. I always had the dance. I like to dance. Not literally, but you know what I mean. Make the music dance. Yeah. You know
I totally get it. And like and that's why I think a lot of the System songs kind of have that groove to it, and
sure.
I really like all the songs, and it's like, man, you feel yourself grooving to it, but I get what you mean for sure.
I got some new stuff coming out soon, bro. Been working on something solo and got my new side project, North Kingsley. We're 11 songs in. The record is almost done. We're gonna shock drop a record soon.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's cool. It's different style than what we have out already. I dropped 6 tracks early on the pandemic, 2020.
Yeah.
And it was more hip hop rock, not rap rock, kind of like, it's the one thing about North Kingsley that's really, really dope is you're going to hear our evolution. It's an experimental group. It started off as heavy hip hop, which is we're using like electronic trap beats and hip beats and EDM beats, but we're playing heavy music on top of it. And then he's screaming, yelling, but he's also got a lot of rap. He had a lot of rapping going on. Now it's more in we kind of gradually went towards the metal, like rock and heavy vocals. So the vocals are becoming like industrial and heavy, and he screams more. I think it's in his DNA to do that. Singer's Ray Hawthorne.
Okay.
Really cool kid. Not kid, he's 29, 30, but still to me, he's a kid, he's younger than me. So,
Yeah.
I'm in my 40s. So, but the whole thing is, evolution of sound, and you're going to be able to witness it if you hear the 6 songs we've got. There's already an evolution from the first 3 we dropped, which was in August. And then 6 months later, we dropped another 3. There was already a switch in sound. And now we were going to do another. The plan with North Kingsley was 3 songs at a time, dropping small EPs, so you could see the gradual, transition of the sound, because we were growing in the studio. And I could tell that was happening because, we started writing music. I was like, let's drop it. Then we did more, let's drop that. And so once we started doing this other vibe, I said, let's just do an album, bro, because I feel like there's a vibe now. So once people kind of know the name, they know the vibe, I want to switch it up now. So we're there now. We're almost done with the record.
Oh, sweet. And
looking forward. Yeah.
You said you kind of started around the pandemic. Was it because of the pandemic that kind of made you want to do some
No, music? Man, we started earlier. We started in late 2018, early 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we were going to drop the EP in April of 2020, and the fucking world shut down in March. Yep. So we lagged it because I wanted it to be a bigger drop. We thought we'd do some shows. And what happened was we lagged it till August. I was like, we can't not drop. So we just dropped it quietly on my own, no label, no support, nothing. And then we dropped another one December, January, I think. And then I've just been holding on to the rest, but they've been evolving, like vocals been changing. And we keep going back and saying, every time we get a new style, like I bring something new in, or someone else brings something, we're like, oh shit, now we got to revamp some of the old ones. So it's a constant work in progress, which is fun, man. It's really cool to be that we don't have a sound yet that people are recognize us with. So it's cool. We can switch up. So it's like freedom. It's artistic freedom at its best.
I was going to say, it has to be freeing when you don't have to stick to a specific sound that people recognize and want.
Yes. So that's where we're at. And, some of the hip hop stuff, some of the System fans are not into, which is cool. We're not writing for System fans. We're writing for ourselves. And whoever digs it. And whoever doesn't, it's okay. There's a million other bands to listen to. You know what I'm saying? It's not, this ain't crucial to my career. This is kind of something we're doing as a joy, for fun, but it's a passion too, like music is a passion and expression, it's good to express yourself in different ways if you have it, so.
Oh, I feel the same way. I do like independent documentary filmmaking. So
no, that's great. Hell yeah, bro.
It's what I get into, and it's
bro, I love filmmaking myself, bro. I got into it very young. As a kid, I was making skateboard videos because I'm an old skater from the 80s and 90s, and I'd make skate videos for ourselves. But I would do it like local with my dad's VCR and shit. Like I'd be like plugging 2 VCRs into each other with RCA cables, press play on one, recording, play on the other one, back and forth editing like that, bro. Using big ass camcorders back in the day with the VHS tapes in there. So I started there, and then with System after the first album, where I watched people, which I watched the directors making our videos, and I told the band, guys, I could do this. Like, this is in me. So when we did Toxicity was my first video that I directed all by myself. And that was it's like jumping in a ocean, not knowing how to swim really, but kind of knowing how to doggy paddle. And then, by the end of it, I was doing the breaststroke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had picked it up, and I did a bunch of videos, bro, for System. So I love expressing myself that way as well. So I get you. I love that.
I was gonna say, because like that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, and that's why I brought it up. And then because I like the music video for Toxicity, I think it was so good and well done. So it's like,
thank you very much.
Yeah, you did great on it, and I love it when like people in bands, you know, kind of direct their own videos or have more of what's the word?
Creative control.
Yes, exactly. That's why I really like that, and so I think it's really cool for people to have more creative control of their stuff, you know, versus
bro. Yeah,
studio.
It's because it's in the head of the band, you know. I brought that song in. I wrote most of those parts at home, living with my folks, and I had a thing in my head. I had a vision in my head, you know. And then I brought it to the band, and then it became what it became. Then I got more of a vision because now there's vocals and a bunch of stuff in it now, drums. And so when it came down to the video, I closed my eyes, and when I'm listening to the song, I close my eyes, and whatever colors I see, I made it like that. So during the verses, I felt darkness, so I made the verses black. During the choruses, I felt like the bright light, you know, so I made it like a white world. And then I saw like a universe in my head during the heavy parts. And so we got these kids, and we put these shirts on them with black light strips on them, the 3M strips. And we had them pit, and it's like a circle pit. And I filmed from like bird's eye, and they look like the universe, like the Milky Way. And then I turned them into the Milky Way at the end. So it was just expression. There was no really thought process of a concept. It was mostly visual, you know? And like where Serge screams, I had the kids. Wow, it's like an endless chain of kids. And then it goes right back to his mouth. It's, you know, just cool vibes that I saw in my head happen, and I made it happen. And it's the funnest thing. And it's such a gratifying thing to see something in your head and then see it in real life and have other people see what you saw. It's amazing.
It's like really gratifying for you, because not only you're writing the music, but you're directing the video.
Yeah.
So it's like double gratifying.
It's double gratifying. It is. And it was. And then and I also love it when, you know, like I did Aerials, and Aerials was Darren's song. He brought that in A to Z. And but like he had a vision, and he told me the vision, and I took it from there. And then I added my vision to it, and it became what that video was, which I think is one of the greatest ones I've done. I've done like 5, I think. And Aerials, I could say, stood out for me in a different way, because it was more filmmaking. You know, I gave a story. I told a story about myself in that video, and people don't know what that little kid means. It's me, you know, that kid is me. And I always felt alienated. And so I turned him into a little alien kid, you know, with the upturned face, just visually exciting, you know, intriguing. And back then, bro, that face, to put that face on the kid, cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And
what, for real?
Took weeks to make that effect happen in CGI.
Good
where
grief.
today it's a filter. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Today is a filter on your phone, and kids can fuck with it. And back then you had to really go in and frame by frame, because it wasn't even shot digitally. I shot that on 35 millimeter film. So I had to go frame by frame, bro.
Man, the time involved in that.
Dude, there's moments where we ran out of time. You could see the face move a little weird. It's like when you are on Snapchat or something, or on Instagram, and you have a filter and you move your head and then the filter comes on and off. There's a minute, like a second in the video that happens to the kid because it's just we ran out of time, bro.
Oh, I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's when the money's flowing. It's when there's the money coming at him. And he's looking up and he turns to the side. That happens. It's fucking crazy.
That's so funny.
I know, bro. I know.
It's crazy to hear how much things cost when you're making something because people don't really understand. So I did an interview with Eduardo Sanchez, who directed the Blair Witch Project.
Rad.
And he made this other movie, and I asked him about a costume. He's like, "Yeah, this costume costs like $200,000 to make." I'm like, "What the crap?"
Yeah, bro.
It doesn't make sense.
Especially when you're using film, bro. Back then, film. It's just the film alone costs money. What I would do is I would take my director's fee and I would put it back into the video because wow. 20K at the time, 30K wasn't going to really break my bank at the time. I was more into making the video timeless, and I'd rather. So at the end of the day, they'd say, "Hey, we're running out of budget." The budget, I'm like, "Okay, you still have this much because that's mine, and I'm giving it now." So, whoa, what a director. I'm like, I just want the band to look good, the video to live on. And, the video people will see after I'm dead. That 20K I won't see. And, I was a kid at the time. I was like 20 something years old, bro.
So you're just like, here's my money. Let's do it.
Yeah, bro. I'd paid to do the video at that point, because it was such an honor to do our videos, bro,
Dude, I would totally do the same thing,
Especially if you got passion, I could tell.
Yeah, you're passionate about it. The passion, I think, is the driving force in a lot of things. And if you don't have passion, you don't.
Nah, bro.
You don't really have
passion
much.
Is the key to success. It's execution. It's passion, execution. Repeat that, and just effort. You got to put effort into your passion, not just have passion. That doesn't work. But you got to put effort and execute, and then you'll be successful if you do it.
Oh enough. Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of one of the keystones that I hold dear when I try and do things. Whether it's podcasting or filmmaking, and just not trying to. Don't be afraid of rejection because obviously that happens, and just keep on asking.
Bro, rejection is a part of life with everything, including relationships and jobs and sports. Anything you're in, there's going to be rejection. You need to be like immune to that shit. That shit can't phase you, especially today, bro, with Instagram and all these social media, bro. Rejection is just you post something, you get rejected. Someone comes in there, a smart ass, saying something, yeah, bro. You can't watch that shit.
I totally get that. It's the worst.
The worst, bro. Worst time. Like in the beginning, I get offended. I was like, what am I getting offended for? Some guy sitting behind his phone talking shit. What's he doing? What's she doing? You know what I mean? To talk shit like that and have a view and have an opinion on your art, So fuck them, and it's all about you. If you're doing it, it's what Gary Vee says, bro. Fuck that shit. Just go,
They're doing it because they're jealous and they have no life.
Dude, you're their life because they're watching you. You're their movie. You're the one in the star. You make the choices of what you do. They're watching you. That means you're important to them.
This is true.
For them to make a comment on your post, that means you mean something to that person. So fuck them for making a negative comment. 1, 2, it is what it is. Just move on, learn from it, and move on. But never stop. Never stop.
That's the best kind of advice anybody could ever have with doing anything they're passionate about.
The truth.
This is crazy. You were in the movie Zoolander. You had a small part in it.
Yeah, it was an extra thing. It was it's funny because now we're cool with each other. I know him, Owen Wilson. I was in his posse. I was in a couple of scenes, but that one scene showed me, and he could tell my beard. You could see my beard. It's during the awards, the VH1 awards, the modeling awards. I'm in the back, and I'm friends with Gavin too. He was with Gavin from Bush. You know what, dude? You know what's silly? We're friends. We talk all the time, and I've never told him that was me behind him in that scene. I need to call that dude, bro. I need to tell him today. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call Gavin today. I'm gonna say I was behind you in that scene, bro.
Oh my god.
He has no clue. I forgot I even did that shit, bro. That's crazy. You brought that up. Yeah, that's like back in the day. I got a story about that though. You want to hear a quick little story of what happened?
Yeah, go for it.
I got the gig through like someone that worked at management that like casted people, right? So they threw me in there. And it was there's like extras, but then there's the ones that like the important extras, the ones that are going to be seen. So like 100%. So we have certain seats like that they had for me, and so we were waiting so long for them to call us. Me and a friend of mine that was in the scene with me, we go, let's go smoke a joint real quick in the car and come back. So we take off, we come back, everyone's gone. They got called, bro, and like we're like fuck, we're in this like studio. Like I don't remember if it was in Burbank or somewhere in LA, Paramount or something. And we're looking for everybody, and we're like, fuck, man, did we miss the fucking whole thing? And this lady with a clipboard and headphones runs to us like with a walk. I got them. And then like, come on, hurry up, you're late. Everyone's waiting. Ben Stiller's waiting. You know, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like we just fucked up. And so they rush us into the sound stage, and everyone is sitting in their seats with Ben, like waiting for us to because we were right behind Gavin and what's her name, Gwen Stefani, right? So,
wow.
Dude, so it was like the walk of shame, walking through everybody, getting it. We're stoned off our asses, bro. My eyes are fucking lit, and it was like we just got handed with like that panic. So it's kind of anxiety high.
Oh my god!
Like it was yesterday. That now that you brought it up. So, bro, I sat there stoned off my ass. Everyone looking at me like, who the fuck is that guy? And why did he get that spot? And why did we even wait for him? You know, because I wasn't known yet. My band wasn't known well. It was just, I've always liked to do things, have fun. Never, you know, if I wanted to do it, I did it. I didn't say, oh, it's beneath me. I never did that. I was like, fucking let's go, bro. I'm going to be an extra. I'm going to have fun doing it.
That's exactly
it's a story to tell now. You know, now I'm telling you the story, you know, years later. So
that's like kind of my viewpoint. It's like, I want to take things seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. I just want to have fun doing it.
Yeah, bro. You know, there's times to be serious, bro. You know, and then there's times to be lighthearted. If you don't have the lightheartedness, you know, your life is going to waste because you can't always be serious. You'll miss out on so many cool things, man.
It's so true.
You know, yeah.
It's kind of sad when people just have that mindset where they're just so serious all the time. I'm like, dude,
chill out.
How is your life enjoyable?
Hey, it is what it is. Everyone to each his own. I've learned that, you know, that's number one, to each his own. Is like you do what you do, bro. You know,
yeah.
You do what you do, whatever makes you happy.
You do you, and I do me.
I'll do me. Yeah, exactly.
Before we started talking earlier, you saw the bass on my wall here. For people who don't know or can't see this, I have a 1978 Rickenbacker. 78 Rickenbacker, and you were saying that's like one of your go-to basses at home.
Yeah, I have a bunch of basses, even though I play Warwick, and I'm going to give them a big plug. I love Warwick basses. I used to play T-Birds, and that was my thing, and everyone like kind of knew me with the T-Bird. Yeah. And it was an awkward transition because, well, Gibson went through a bunch of management changes, and I just lost my guy there. It was other people, and it just wasn't comfortable anymore for me. And back to Scott Reeder from Caius, he would always tell me, man, you should try Warwick. He played Warwicks forever. You should try Warwick. They're amazing. They're in Germany. They do this. They make customs, whatever you need. You know, I'm a Gibson guy. And bro, at that point, I said, you know what? I'm going to give Warwick a chance now that like I'm not having the same vibe with Gibson anymore. I'm not knocking the company as in like, I'm not knocking their guitars. I'm just, the vibe of the people was different at that time. And it was like 2015, I think, 2016, something like that. And bro, they first sent me one and I started playing it, and it felt, because remember I told you I was a guitar player turned bass player.
Yeah.
The neck was thinner and I can play faster, and the sound was thick, and I didn't see T-Birds are like, you need to control that T-Bird. Like T-Bird is like the headstock is heavy, so it's very neck heavy. So you got to hold it up on stage. It's rough. It's very heavy bass. You got to maneuver it. But I had it tamed, you know. It took me a while, but I had it tamed and I knew what to do. It was kind of my stage presence kind of was based on the bass, you know. And when I hit Warwick up, my sound, number one, got better. It got cleaner. And then my playing, my ability got like double, like because I could play faster and smoother, and I didn't have to think about holding up the neck. I could just let my hands go on the next days. So yeah, I just want to give Warwick, and then they've made me the best basses, and now I'm sold, you know, like That's why I can pump it and be honest about it. I'm not just pumping it because they're my company. I really think they're amazing.
Dude, that's awesome.
But I do collect other guitars and I do collect instruments, and I have for the last 20 years. And I do have a Rickenbacker, early 70s Rickenbacker, and I have a couple of them. But that one I'm talking about is on my wall right now at home, and it's kind of something I like to jam on a lot at home. Even though I jam on my Warwicks as well at home because that's just what I do. That one is something I grab sometimes and just kind of play with. I'm also a big Motorhead fan. So It's like, you get the Lemmy spirit in you when you jam on that thing. It's always like you grab that and you got to first do the first few bars of Ace of Spades, and then you can move on to anything else. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
You just got to play that riff, and then you satisfy yourself with that and move on.
No, it's so true. Like,
it's a great instrument.
I love playing the Rick, and like you said, Lemmy from Motorhead. That's kind of one classic one. And then I usually play a lot of older Tool because, like, Paul D'Amour played Rickenbacker.
He did. I'm a big fan of Justin, though. He's fucking such a cool son of a bitch, dude. That guy. I love him.
Me and my dad just went to go see Tool for his third or second time, my fifth time.
I love those guys. All of them. Dude, they're
so
just
good.
real. One, they're great. Two, they're just really cool people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Maynard very well. I know him, but I don't know him well. Like, I call him a friend, but I can call the rest of the guys my buddies. You know what I mean? Those guys are just really, really, really nice, down to earth people. Like, I go to Justin's Christmas parties and shit. It's so really cool. Really nice people, man. And down to earth,
So, like, I've seen so many bands so many times, and I've been trying to go see System of a Down forever. It's like I just never can be at the right place at the right time when you guys come to town or whatever. And it's like I moved to Florida, and bands are kind of, I don't know. It seems like certain bands come here and certain bands don't. It's kind of odd.
We haven't played outside of our area for a while now, bro. We've been going through little changes within each other, and just one thing leads to another. I don't know, bro. We've been doing kind of West Coast stuff. Did Europe in 2017, but our shows are few and far, bro. I personally would rather play 10 times more than what we do, and make records, but it takes 4 to tango. And so, you know what I'm saying? I can't do it on my own. So I do my own thing as I wait, like you wait, I wait myself. So I'm like the choir, and our fans preach to me constantly. Come on, why don't you do more shows? I'm like, fuck, man, if it was up to me, we'd be there today, So, but I can't do it on my own, So,
yeah, I mean, like you said, it is what it is. And so you're like,
and I can't trip on it. I've accepted it. When we do play, we play. When we don't, I got to do my own thing. I got to keep the soul alive with music and everything else I do with the 22 Red. We should talk about that, of course.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, that's something I started in 2018 with a couple of friends.
Yeah.
And started off as a brand, just a regular lifestyle brand with cool clothes and minimal branding and vibes, just passion again, something I wanted to do for fun. And when my third partner joined, he was an amazing, legendary grower in LA, Surreal Yields. This is his name. His name is Sean, but he goes by Surreal Yields. That's his Instagram. He is just legendary, bro. He's been growing for I don't know how long, since early 2000s and stuff. And wow. Yeah, and when I witnessed the thing was with me, bro, I have a real big passion for cannabis, and I'm a big advocate for it forever, since I was 21 years old. But the thing is I didn't want to get into the business of it because I didn't know where it was going to come from. I didn't want to do a celebrity. I'm not into the celebrity brands, because it's like, just because you have a name doesn't mean your weed's good, doesn't mean you know good weed. There's these celebrities out there that don't even smoke that have brands. It's like terrible. And they don't know what's going in the freaking bags or the jars. They just kind of like, oh, their person tells them this is what's good, and then okay, cool, let's put my name on it and walk away. No, bro. So I didn't want to be that guy. So it took me a while to actually get in, because I just didn't have it. But once I knew of Sean, and we were friends. And I think his cousin is a really good friend of mine since forever. So he's been around, but I didn't know how well how good he was, bro. I didn't know. I just thought he grew weed. We're in LA. A lot of people grow weed. But you know what I'm saying? Once I saw his shit, though, it was just, fuck, dude, this is something I could put my name on as long as this is what we're selling. Oh, and of course, it needs to be what I'm intaking, what I'm smoking, what I'm inhaling. And everything goes through me. Everything we've ever had for the last 3 years in 3 states has to go through me. You know, I do all the R&D, all the quality control. It's getting tougher because we're in 3 states now, and each state has its specific strains, and then we do have some strains that we share throughout all 3 states. We're in Arizona, Nevada, and California. Okay. We've got a lot of states that want us to go there, that we have a lot of people, but it's just, the thing is I don't want to scale so fast where I lose track of what's happening, so I just want to build these 3 states as big as I could get, and then once it's one of those, like, what do you call it? When it's just a turnkey, it's dialed in, everything's dialed in. Still not dialed in everywhere. It's with the regulations. It's insane with the way they see. I wish it was when it becomes federally legal, we can hub it where we can be like, we can have a big grow in Cali, take it from here to Arizona to Nevada. We don't have to set up grows everywhere. We don't have to partner with grows and have to go through all this R&D and make sure they're doing it the way we do it. It's like, it's hard. Imagine if Guinness, every state was a different manufacturer, a different distributor, and they did it their own way. And so the flavor is different in every state. That's not, it's hard to keep that going the way it's going. So eventually it's going to become federally legal. I heard the House just passed. We're looking forward to see what the Senate does, which I'm sure it's not going to pass, but a step. It's a step. It's a step. Senate always fucks shit up, but see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But meanwhile, I grow the brand. We're growing the brand. Once again, I'm not keeping any of the money. The money goes right back in to make the brand bigger and do more for the brand. I'm lucky that I have other places of income, so I could really focus on growing the brand and not taking too many outside investments, which dilutes our interests,
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's where we're at, bro. We're in 3 states. We just got a crazy distribution deal with Steezy. And that really, I'm really happy with. It's one brand I'd like to be attached to. I love how they do things. I love how they've been doing it. And my guy, Surreal Yields, my partner, he's also partnered with them and does their strains now, does their genetics now, and does their growing now. So it's a match made in heaven, because we're getting the quality we're used to, and and we have a big juggernaut of a company backing us. So their footprint throughout California is huge. They're in every dispensary, and so their distribution footprint is immense. And so we're gonna soon be everywhere.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is 22 Red in most dispensaries in California or not?
No, not yet. We were in about 80. Then we've been having California distributor issues for a few years. We've been through a few, because you have to make sure they do their job right, and when they're not doing the job right, you need to move forward, or you either get them to be better or you move on. So we've tried and moved on. I think we're somewhere where finally we're with people that have same common interest, same work ethic and quality, and a big footprint. So let's see where this takes us. Right now we're in every Steezy store. We're their premium brand, and because we put only premium flower. We'll soon have concentrates here. We'll have rosin pens. We'll have edibles. Right now we're only
stuff.
Yeah, but see, we used to have vapes in 2018, but it was distillate. And as time went on, I stopped smoking distillate. So if I'm not doing it, I'm not going to put my name on it and sell it. So we're looking towards doing live resin pens now, which is way better for you and more up my alley of what I smoke. And so if I'm going to swear by it, I better be doing it and not just talking out of my ass,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yep. Yes, sir.
time is wrapping up here.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you, is there any advice you'd give anybody trying to get into music or any kind of thing they feel passionate about? What would be the number one advice you would give?
I think we've been giving advice throughout the whole talk you and I have had.
Pretty much.
I think it's about doing what you love and what you're passionate, not giving a fuck what others think or say, keeping your goals ahead of you, never behind you, never next to you, always ahead of you. So you always have something to shoot for, always. And once you accomplish, set another one. Once you accomplish that, set another one. If I get comfortable, I think I'm dead, because you have nothing to shoot for. You have nothing to strive for. I'm a guy that always wants to do something better, always something different. So I'll do something and then I'll take it to another level, take it to another level, take it to another level. And I'll start something else if I've already done it and my time permits. Don't fill yourself up with too many things, because everything will be flat. Give yourself the time and the space to accomplish what you're set to accomplish. And like I said, don't give a fuck what anybody says or does. It's about passion plus commitment plus execution, and that equals success. So whether it's music, whether it's a brand, whether it's cannabis, whether it's anything, poetry, video making, anything artistic, anything passionate, that's the equation. That's the formula that equals success, and that's it, bro. That's the best advice I can give anyone for anything. I have 3 kids, so you can tell I'm kind of fatherly. I do this to my kids all the time, and they look up at me like, Dad's crazy.
Kids think they're all their dads are crazy, even me.
I know, but they might be right. They might be right though.
So that's the best advice, man. And I really want to thank you for taking the time and doing this with me. And
hell yeah,
I appreciate it. And it's been fun. It's been real.
Yes, sir. My pleasure. My pleasure. I appreciate the talk.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take care. See you the next episode.